Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday morning. Tony and Rose Kitchen from Australia. Okay? And I'm gonna give you a recipe. This is one recipe for all. What I like to do, because a lot of parents, they say, oh, my kids, oh no, they don't eat veggies, they don't like veggies, they make argument, you know, children, young children. Yeah, I don't want this, I don't want cauliflower, I don't want broccoli, I don't want carrots, I don't want pumpkin, I don't want cabbage, I don't want anything. A lot of kids do that, don't they? I've been through it. One of my daughters, she didn't like ham. How about that? But doesn't matter. Anyway, today she loves ham. She's grown up now. The thing I want to do something for everybody, yes, but mainly for children who doesn't eat vegetables. So I wrote down this recipe here, and this recipe is for all, one for all. Today I'm doing it with carrots, and you can do it with oranges juice, apple juice, pineapple juice, whatever you would desire. But for the kids, it's veggies now. Forget the juices, okay? You can do it with cauliflower, with broccoli, with pumpkin, with whatever vegetables that you desire to make that mainly that your kids doesn't like. So what I got here, I got 2 baby carrots, which weigh around about 135 grams. 2. I chop them into pieces. I put them in the blender. I put that much water so it will come weak, it will come juice, carrots juice. And it's easy. Try it small. Don't make it too big. Try it small. I've got here 300 grams of plain flour. I've got here 40 grams of oil, olive oil, cooking oil, sunflower, or whatever oil you have, 40 grams. And then I've got about 110 to 115 grams of hot, warm water, okay? And I've got as well is about 5 to 6 grams yeast. The more grease you put, the higher it will go. And a teaspoon of sugar. So what I've got here, I put the yeast in here and by itself on tea towels to warm up a bit, and it's fermented. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to get a tablespoon or a wooden spoon. For now I get a wooden spoon, okay? For now. Where is it? Or yeah, have I got a wooden spoon here? I should have, yes. So what I'm going to do here, then you need to put a teaspoon of salt with the flour. And when you put a teaspoon of salt with the flour, I show you, okay? Roughly teaspoon, roughly teaspoon. If you don't want to use the teaspoon, use your hand. Just put some in your hand. Round about a teaspoon of salt. But always mix it with the flour. And then when you mix it with the flour, what you do when you fold the flour like that, right? Usually I sift it, you can sift it. So when you do that, you give air to the flour, right? You give air. When you fold it, you always give air to the flour, okay? As you saw me, that's done. So what I'm going to do now, all right, that's the recipe. So you can use it for all. As long as when you ground the carrots, apple, or if you can ground your orange yourself, not with peel of course, or cauliflower or broccoli or pumpkin, make sure you put some water with it to ground it so it will come liquidy. So what I'm doing now, the yeast has fermented, and I'm gonna throw the flour with the salt into the yeast like that. Okay, there you are. and I'm gonna fold it like that. See how I fold it like this? If you need a bit more water, don't hesitate, don't worry, okay? If you need a bit more flour, don't hesitate to put a bit more flour. So now at the moment, I'm mixing the flour with the yeast with a tiny bit of sugar and salt. Now it's time to put the carrots, and the kids wouldn't know what they're eating. If you do that to the kids, wouldn't they think, and the more color you have for the children, the more they will eat the vegetables. So I've got 2 baby carrots here, all right, or weigh about 130, 135 gram, even 140, it doesn't matter, okay, but 2 baby carrots. I chop them in pieces, I put that much water, blend them, and here we go, look. See that? You make it like soup, make it like soup. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna mix it like this, okay, and put it all in, of course. Don't waste, please. Just don't waste. If you need a bit of warm, always warm water. Not hot, very warm, okay? And the kids will eat them, and then you can give them to, when the school starts, you can give them, you can make it into a loaf, or you can make it into rolls, okay, whatever it please you. Rolls is much easier to give to the children in the lunchbox. So then you mix the flour with the carrots, with the yeast, with a tiny bit of sugar, and a tiny bit of salt. I'll show you the color in a minute, and I'll guarantee you that when you give this to the children, whether they like carrots or not, they wouldn't know. They say, oh, mommy, color bread, beautiful, ma. Beautiful, ma. That's nice, mommy. Can I have another one, mommy, because I like it? You see, that's the main thing I'm trying to do. For you to feed the children what any kind of vegetable that you would like them to eat to keep them healthy without knowing what they're eating. You make sure that you do not leave any pieces at all that the children might realize what's in the bread. You gotta trick them, eh? But at the same time, you're not making something bad. You are trying to keep your children healthy, not? You agree? I hope so. I agree. So it's Tony and Rose trying to teach you now. This one comes a little bit moist, but it doesn't matter. You can add water or you can add flour, okay? So I'll add a bit of flour like this to make it a nice soft dough. Never make it too hard because it takes a bit of while. Never make it too wet, but don't make it too hard. I rather have it a bit moist than dry. So when it rise up easier. Okay? Then what I'll do, I will rest it until it doubles. Okay? I usually put it in a glass bowl or in a bowl, but I paste the bowl with a bit of oil, so when I take it out, it doesn't stick to the bowl. So this is the pastry at the moment. Work it out. Tiny bit of flour here and there, it's not going to harm it, okay? As long as you don't overload it with flour. And then when it rise up, you press it and you make it into balls, and let them rise again, okay? Double in a dish, and then you cook them on 200 or 220 Celsius, for about, maybe 25, 30 minutes. But as I always say, you always, please, always make sure that you check your oven. If you don't check your oven, so this recipe that I gave you, it's for all kind of vegetable, okay? And you blend them properly. Don't leave any pieces, please. It's a bit moist, so I don't mind put a bit of more flour, okay? There you are, see, look. as long as it doesn't stick to your hand. That's what you want, you know? As long as it doesn't stick to your hand. Tell me, you can put a little, maybe you say, oh, how about if I put less water, Tony? You can do that. And then you might need to be a bit more water. So you put the measurement, and it doesn't matter if it's got, that's why really I put about 1 gram more of yeast, just in case I increase the flour. Okay? See, at the moment it's sticking to my hand, so I just put a bit more flour like that, press it down, and put a bit of flour and fold it. Fold it like this, see? That's it. It's still sticking, but it doesn't matter, okay? Make sure it doesn't, you keep folding it until it doesn't stick into your hand, and there it is. See that? After you rest it, it doesn't matter how much flour you put on the bench. But if it's necessary, don't put, just cut a piece like that, you know, or smaller, and just roll it into your hand, you know, or on the bench is better, roll it properly. And if you need a bit more flour, don't hesitate to put more flour to make sure that it doesn't stick, okay? There you are, that's that. So, I'll give you the recipe again. Okay, write it down, please, because I don't like to write recipes. Well, I wrote it down here. I put 300 of gram flour, 5 gram of yeast, teaspoon of salt, 40 gram of oil, any oil, all right? And I put about between 130 to 150 gram of curries and 110 warm water. You can bake it on 220 for about 30-35 minutes. As I said, always check the oven. Tony and Rose Kitchen, I'm making something that you can feed the kids without knowing what they're eating. But it's good. Not bad. Good. God bless you all.